Samsung has had quite the year owing to the success of their flagship smartphone, the S23 Ultra, which is hands down one of the best phones of the year. The challenge for Samsung now is to transfer the same DNA that the S23 Ultra has into their phones across various segments. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung A54, Samsung's bid to win the market in the highly competitive mid-range segment and to see if it is a worthy competitor. The design of the phone has taken clear inspiration from the S23 Ultra with a similar camera layout. The back though has been given a glass finish as opposed to the matte finish in the previous generation. Kudos to Samsung for using Corning Gorilla Glass 5 to protect the back. The only downside of the glass is the amount of fingerprint smudges it collects. We tested the violet color of the phone, which did a good job at hiding smudges. The phone is a little thick, but it provides good grip. We get a USB-C port at the bottom along with a speaker grill and mic. On the top, we get a secondary mic as well as a hybrid SIM tray. While a lot of companies depend on unique designs to set phones apart in this category, Samsung has kept it quite simple. On the business end of the phone, we get a 6.4-inch OLED display, which is just about the perfect size. The screen does have bezels, but they're uniform on three sides and has a marginally thicker chin. The front of the phone too is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. The screen supports 1080p resolution and has a peak brightness of 1000 nits, which is pretty good in all conditions, indoor as well as under direct sunlight. The screen also comes with a 120Hz refresh rate, though you only get an adaptive and standard option and cannot make 120Hz your default refresh rate. The colors on the display unit are nice and vivid with HDR capabilities on YouTube. Coupled with the loud stereo speakers and Dolby Atmos support, the viewing experience on this phone is quite pleasant, making this a great device if you like to binge on content while commuting. The phone is powered by an upgraded Samsung Exynos 1380, which is definitely an upgrade from the previous year's edition of the phone, but just about at par with the Snapdragon 778G. There is only an 8GB RAM variant with a choice of 128GB or 256GB for storage. The LPDD R4X RAM and the UFS 3.1 storage are fast enough to offer quick response times. The phone performs daily tasks quite well. You could do a bit of gaming too. Playing heavier games on low to medium graphics is no issue, though after a significant amount of gaming you might feel the device heat up in places. Samsung has been exceptionally good at camera technology and this phone is no different. The A54 uses a triple camera setup comprising a 50MP primary camera, a 12MP ultra-wide camera and 5MP macro camera. The major upgrade here is the primary sensor, while the other two cameras have been carried forward from the previous model. The camera app is quite easy to navigate. You get a pro mode as well if you're interested in having more control over the imaging process. The primary camera does a great job at taking pictures. The colors are vibrant and saturated. The dynamic range on offer is quite great as well. There's some sharpening that can be seen, but nothing that stands out too much. The case for the ultra-wide camera too is quite similar. The images are contrasty and punchy, and color consistency between the lenses is pretty great too. The ultra-wide camera's 5MP sensor isn't mind-blowing, but it produces decent color and detail. We would say it's perfectly usable as opposed to many other macro cameras that we see. The selfie camera is a 12MP sensor that does a good job. The phone is powered by a 5000 mAh battery and supports 25-watt charging, which isn't all that impressive. To our disappointment, you don't get a charging brick in the box. The charging speeds are decent, and with a Samsung charger, you could juice the phone from 0 to 100 in about an hour. The A54 runs on One UI based on Android 13. The interface is quite clean and quick, and you get a fair amount of customization options. Samsung offers up to 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security patches, which is extremely impressive. What is equally impressive is the IP67 rating that the phone has bagged. Durability seems to be Samsung's play with this device, considering the Corning Gorilla Glass protection, the IP67 rating, and the staggering 4 years of Android updates. To sum it up, Samsung has done a great job of upgrading the A53. This phone promises durability and reliability. It would surely make for a great daily driver that can do a little bit of everything while offering good camera performance. With prices starting at 38,999 rupees without bank offers, the phone is on the pricier end of the segment and faces tough competition with solid phones such as the outgoing Pixel 6a, the Nothing Phone 1 on one end and the OnePlus 11R on the other. We expect the phone to be a great choice if the price tag was not as heavy.